This is topic 17.1, illustration of the substitution rule for definite integrals. We have two methods actually in solving the definite integral using substitution rule. The first method is method 1. In this method, we consider the definite integrals as indefinite integral and apply the substitution technique afterwards. Then the answer, the antiderivative of the given function, is expressed in terms of the original variable. Then afterwards, you use the F-talk or the fundamental theorem of calculus using the limit of integration for x equals to a and x equals to b. Basically, sa method 1, combination lang ni sa topic na to nga substitution rule and then ang fundamental theorem of calculus. So, ang buhaton nimo first is definite integral man ang given, i-treat sa nimo siya as indefinite integral. After nimo ma-treat siya as indefinite integral, apply na nimo si fundamental theorem of calculus. So, nga na ang method 1. To illustrate that one, example ani, we have an integral of the quantity x minus 2 raised to 54 dx from 1 to 3. Ang first buhaton diha is mag-apply tag substitution because again, pag ingani ang itsura na exponent nga dako kaayo, lisod naman siya i-expand. So ang atong buhaton, substitution rule. So sa iyang gigamit dire, gilet niya ang x minus 2 as ang x minus 2 as y. So, let y be equivalent to x minus 2. Then, after, recall na to na ha. So, ito sa nang i-present og tarong. Sa, di ba, after niyo mag-let nag-anag kuan, di ba, mag-dy ta ana, differential, differentiate both sides. dy ni dire din kani dx na lang kay kaning negative 2 is a constant man. So we now substitute ang kani. So by substitution that becomes integral of from 1 to 3. Again, this is dy is equivalent to dx. So ang mahitabo, ang first niya gibuhat is i-apply na niya si substitution directly. So, from this, again, first, giuna niya is gitreat sa niya una ni as, di ba, definite integral because naa siya limit. Gitreat sa niya as indefinite integral. Walay limit diri sa una. So, pag solve ani, apply man tag substitution, di ba? We let y equals to x minus 2. So, dy na to is equals to dx. So, by substitution, that becomes integral of y raised to 54, while ang tong dx, may munag siya dy. So, integrating this one, this becomes y raised to 55 over 55 plus c. And then, since nag-substitution ta, ibalik na itong value sa atong y, which is x minus 2 raised to 55 over 55 plus c. So, gikan na dire. Again, sa libro, shortcut ra manggod kaayo. So, ingana na pagka-presents. I hope naka-follow from here nganong naingani. So, after niya nakuha si definite integral, indefinite integral niya, gamitan na niya og fundamental theorem of calculus, which is atong limit is from 1 to 3. So, katong iba from here, meaning, ang kani nga indefinite integral, equal ra siya ani, which is gikan man na dire, nanatay limit na from 1 to 3. So, buhato na lang, by fundamental theorem of calculus, substitute first, C3 dapat ni. Actually, this must be 3. Una. So, 3 una, and then after, si negative 1. Nga nung nag-negative 1 ni dali. Dili ni negative 1. So, this must be 1 lang. So may mga mali sa libro, no? So yun. So 3 and 1. So therefore, pag i-simplify na nimo, the answer is 2 over 55. So using the first method, ang integral ani is this one. So nga na mag-solve og indefinite integral nga using the first method. What about ang second method? Oh, by the way, take note daw, possible question, sir, nawala lagi si C sa dere. Actually, gi-omit na nato si C, nga constant C, because kung tanaw na to, i-substitute na to si 3, di ba 3 man yung originally, napanay plus C diha. Tapos, pag substitute na to kay 1 dere, dapat 1 man ni dere. Di ba minus naman siya? Minus C na po na siya. So, ang plus C o minus C, makancel out ra. So, ang shortcut na, basta solve og definite integral, no need na apilon si C. Kaya makancel out naman na diretso. So, nga na ang pasabot kanong nawala si Sig pinakalit. So, yun. That's the first method. For the second method, in this method daw, the substitution is applied directly to the definite integral, and the limits or bounds of the integration are also changed according to the substitution applied. How is this done? If the substitution is y equals to g of x is applied, then the limit of integration x equals to a and x equals to b are also changed to g of a and g of b respectively. The fundamental theorem of calculus is applied to the definite integral where the integrand is a function of y, and using the new limit of integration, y equals to g of a and y equals to g of b. Bottom line ani, kung sa first method, ang ato alang giusab is ang integrand, naglet lang ta og y equals to the integrand katong naa sa kaning naa sa integral sign before sa dx, kanilang atong gilet. This time sa second method, kumbaga kanilang atong disubstitutan og y. This time sa second method, appeal na tong limit, pulihan na pud nato ang limit. So simultaneous na siya. So again, sa first method, si integrand lang ang disubstitutan. For the second method, ang integrand as well as the limit. So example ta para ma-illustrate siya. For illustrative example, same gapon nga example kani gapon. Para makita nato ang difference between the first method and the second method. So for the second method, ang buhaton nimo, same gapon, we let y equals to x minus 2. So therefore, dy equals to dx. But aside from that, we also have to change these limits, ang 1 ug 3. Kung saan na mo magpag-change, you let x be equals to 1. Kay 1 man ni dere. Then solve for y. Asa gikan nga y, katong given function na kani. Diba ang y equals to x minus 2 mo na itong gilet. Kadtong equation. Pasabot ana, si 1, ipuli lang nimo diha kay x. So, mautong na 1 minus 2. So, atong x nga 1, mahimo na siya y nga negative 1. So, okay na si lower limit, upper limit na punta na 3. So, at x equals to 3, this time, same gyapon, at x equals to 3, ipuli nimo to sa gilet nimo ang x. So, mauna na siya, nahimo siya 3 minus 2. So, that becomes 1. Meaning, ang x nimo nga 3, upper limit nimo nga 3, mahimo na siya y nga 1. So, again, sa method 2, ang integrand gi-change na to as well sa pod ang upper o lower limit. So, nanatay new integrand, nanatay new lower limit, nanapod tayo new upper limit. So, ato na siyang ipuli dire. So, from here, kung ang given, mahimo na siya gingana. Asa nigikan si y raised to 54 because we substituted. Again, we let this one as y. So, motong na 54. Kaya naman ni 54. Morning na ang x minus 2 na y. Then, ang 1, from here, nahimo siya negative 1. Mo na negative 1 na ni. While ang 3, from here, nahimo man siya 1 by substitution. Mo nang na 1. So next, after ana, apply na nimo si fundamental theorem of calculus, which is integrate this one, maoning y raised to 55 over 55 plus c, basically. Pero pwede ra po wala na ni si plus c. Or para mas formal, actually, pwede may mas naka-follow ta sa fundamental theorem of calculus. Butang na lang si plus c para follow ta sa book. So, next is, after ani, substitute na lang ka. First again is C1, nara. Then next is negative 1. And again, always minus ang operation between. So, 1 raised to 55 is 1. Tapos, negative 1 raised to 55 is negative 1 actually. Is negative 1. So, minus man eh. So, negative times negative. So, that will become 2. So, mauna, kung atong makuan, same gyapon sa answer ganina. Whatever, kung unsa man nga method inyong gigamit, dapat parihara. So, excuse ka dali kay mag-charge ko kay kalubat. Yun. So, inato ang method 2. So, bottom line, in the first method, ang atong kuan is ang variable y lang is expressed in terms of x. So meaning ang sa first method lang, bottom line nato is ang integrand lang ato ang gi-substitutan. And after, wala na ta nang hilabot sa original bounds. Unlike sa method 2, sabay atong gi-substitutan. Gi-substitutan na to ang integrand as well as ang ato ang limits. So actually, kaning method 2 is known as the substitution rule for definite integrals, which is, ang acronym niya is SRDI. So focus ta aning method 2 kay ang method 1 again is just the combination sa topics nga substitution rule sa indefinite integral and fundamental theorem of calculus. Kaning method 2, mao gid ni ang naka-focus na gid sa substitution. Sige. So let's discuss more examples kay para mas ma-practice ta or mas masabtan pod ang topic. Especially nga nagkadugay, nagka-challenge na gyud ang topic. So example 1. We are asked to compute for the integral of the quantity 2x minus 1 cubed dx from 0 to 2. So, from the given, method 2 ta focus ha. First is, we apply substitution. We let, before ta mo proceed ato, ang kani, applying substitution, mahimo na siya gingana. Ang question again, giun sa pagingana. Kay shortcut man kaayo na si book. So, atong i-present. And, preferably sa inyong solution, i-present po ninyo. So, starting from here, mag-let ta og any variable. Ang gigamit niya is y equals to 2x minus 1. Katulang wala naka-exponent. Then, differentiating both sides, we have dy and kani 2 dx. Then, isolating dx, we divide both sides by 2. So, that will be meaning dx na to is dy over 2. Or simply, ang dx na to is just 1/2 dy. Parihara man ning 1/2 dy o dy over 2. Parihara man na sila. So, by substitution, this one is now equivalent to integral of 1/2 by substitution, just ko na-erase pa yun. Basta take note, ang ato ang nag-let y ta equals to 2x minus 1. Tapos atong dx gani ato, di ba, 1/2 dy. So kana, mao na mga importante. So kani mahimo na ni siya integral of ang kani mo ng y. Tapos naka-cube man siya, i-cube na to. Ang dx na to, tara, which is 1/2 dy. So humana ta og kuan sa limit na pud ta mag substitute. So we let at x equals to 0, asa na to i-substitute? Diri sa atong gilet. So y equals to 2 times 0 plus 1, which is equivalent to 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1, that's 1. Next, at x equals to, diri na punta kay 2. 2, so we have y equals to 2 times 2 minus 1. Sorry, this should be minus 1 di ay. Minus 1, kay minus mo na given. So therefore, negative 1 ni. And, sige, padayon ta. And this becomes 2 times 2 is 4 minus 1, kaya na 3. So therefore, ang new na to nga limit, ang lower limit is negative 1, ang 0 na himog negative 1, ang 2 na himog 3. So mao na kani mao ning naingani. So I hope na ka-follow. So again, in presenting yung solution, dapat na aning mga pag-substitute ha, dili kay ipareha lang ani, murag magic ra kaayo. Walay problema na kung mag-take nag-exam tapos dili kailangan i-present ang solution. Pag i-present, you are required to present the solution, i-present ang complete solution. Sige, so padayon ta. So okay na ta dire. Na-connect na nato nganong naingana na siya. So from that, we can now apply kani. So kani kay 1/2 man na, pwede na ito ipalabas katong property nga constant multiple. And then apply na ta ato fundamental theorem of calculus. Since y cube ni, so mahimo siya y raised to 4 over 4. Mao nang na 1/4 y raised to 4. Tapos na may 1/2 daan. And this time, wala na tay integral sign because na natay from limit from negative 1 to 3. Then, next is, asa gikan si 1/8, gi-multiply lang ning duha. 1/2 times 1/4, that's 1/8. Then, gi-substitute na si 3, and then si negative 1. So, simplifying that one, 3 raised to 4, pila man na 3 raised to 4. So, that's 3 times 3 times, that's 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3, 27 times 3, 81. So, natay 81 daan dere, about negative 4 raised to 4. Negative 1 raised to 4. So, again, basig naakalimot, basta naagani negative sa sulod sa parenthesis tapos na exponent, ang bantayanan lang ana is kung even gani ang exponent, positive din ang answer. Pero kung add ang exponent, negative na ang answer. That is, again, applicable if naa sa sulod si negative sign sa tapos na ay exponent. So, mo na, positive 1 ni dire. So, mo tong 81 minus 1, mo tong na 80. And 1/8 of 80 is 10. So, therefore, ang integral ani, ang integral ani using the second method of substitution rule of definite integral is 10. So, nana ang example 1. So, let's discuss more examples. Kay kaning nga topic, kailangan yun need more examples. So, from here, nahimo siya ingani. Ang question before ana, manong na ingana. Sige. So, we let y bagyapon ang gigamit na. Okay, y gyapon be equal to, naka-square root man siya, so pwede ra gid nato siya i-express as from negative 2 to negative 1, quantity of 2 minus 7x raised to 1/2. Ana. So we have, therefore, 2 minus 7x ta diha. So ang dy nato is Constant man is 0. Negative 7x, so that's negative 7 dx. Divided both sides by negative 7. So therefore, atong dx is negative 1 over 7 dy. Okay, nanataan ni. Huwag na natay dx. Limit na po. At x equals to negative 2 taon na. Negative 2, so y na to, using katong atong gilet, y is 2 minus 7 times negative 2. So that is 2 plus 14, which is 16. And next is at x equals to negative 1 na po ta. Negative 1. So y becomes 2 minus 7 times negative 1, and that is 2 plus 7 na ni, which is 9. So, mao ni ato ang upper limit, mao ni ato ang lower limit, mao ni atong upper limit. So, let's check kung tama ako ang solution. Ay isa, there's something wrong. So, dapat negative 3 and negative 1. Asa ko na mali. From negative 1, ang negative 1, dapat negative 1 gihapon. That's 2 minus 7x. At negative 2, 14, 16. Kani 9. Sige daw. Nganong na positive 3 si negative 1. Twing, 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 twing. Hindi na ako makita akong mali. Ha? 2 minus 7x mga itong ano. Isa daw. Anong na y cube? Dili ni mao ang solution. There's something, mali ni. Kani nga solution by the way is, sige daw, let me, wala ko makitang mali. X is negative 2. X is negative 2, so 2, 14, so 16 ni. And x equals to negative 1. Negative 1 is 7, 9. And akong pangutana, asa ni kami. Solution ni sa ganina. Narao. Ayun. So sige, present na lang nako. Mali akong na-copy-paste siguro. So, derida ini sa solution ni sa number 1. Okay, sige. So, present na lang akong solution. Yun. Okay man eh. Wala problema. So, therefore, we can now substitute. This becomes integral of ang kani becomes y raised to 1/2. Tapos, by the way, na dx na rin. Ang dx na to is just negative 1 over 7 dy. And ang limit na to, upper limit na to becomes 9. 9 dere. Kaya ang negative 1 is 9 man. Tapos ang negative 2, lower limit na to is 16. So yun. And then, simplifying this one, si negative 1 over 7, i-factor out na lang. Integrals from 1 raised to 1/2 dy. Tapos, ang y, negative 1 over 7, y raised to 1 half, that becomes y plus 1 third, that's 3 halves, over 3 halves. And limit na to from 16 to 9. And then, simplifying this one, this becomes negative 1 over 7 times 2 thirds, kaya reciprocal sa denominator, and y raised to 3 halves. Limits from 16 to 9. Then, this is now negative 2 over 21. Tapos, ang limit na to is from first og 9. Upper limit man tauna, which is ang 9. 9 raised to 3 halves minus 16 raised to 3 halves. Then, simplifying 9 raised to 3 halves. Ang 9 raised to 3 halves, di ba 1 half man na ang 3 halves? Pwede ka mag-square root sa 3. Square root ni 9 sa kay halves man eh, 3 halves. Square root ni 9, that's 3, tapos cube, that's 27. Same with sa 16. 16, square root ni 16, kay 3 halves man eh. 4. 4 cube, 16 times 4. 64? 64. Then, isolve na lang nimo si 27 of 64. So, that's 14, 5. So, 7, 37. Tama ba? Yun. 64 man eh, pero negative ta. So meaning, ang kani will become negative 2 over 21 times negative 37. Then, may mo na siya, positive, pila ning 37 times 2? 14, 6, 74. So that's 74 over 21. So positive na. So ana ang pagka-solve. So that's for example 2. So next, we have example 3. Sa example 3, same Japon, nag-substitution siya, pero ang question, from here to here, unsay nahitabo. So, before tamo anto ana, mag-substitution sa ta. So, we let y ang gamit niya, no? So, y gihapon. We let y be equivalent to kani, again, can be expressed as 14. Pwede na nato si 14 ipalabas daan. Or later na lang. We have 0, 1, 14, then 1 plus 7x raised to 1 half dx. Pwede raman ingana. So para ang ilet na to is y be equivalent to 1 plus 7x. Then differentiating both sides, this is dy. Kani constant 0, so 7x is 7 dx. Dividing both sides by 7, we have dx na to is 1 over 7 dy. So meaning, we can now say, before that pala, after aning dy, nanatay y, nanatay dy, dx I mean, kato na po at x equals to 0. So meaning, y is equivalent to 1 plus 7 times 0. Which is, 7 times 0 is 0. So 1. Next is at x equals to 1, y equals to 1 plus 7 times 1. Which is 1 plus 7, 8. So pwede na nato siya buhaton kani. So from here, nahimo na siya. Nganong na 2y raised to 3, 1/3 by the way. Before ani, diri sa tao na. Doon sa to pag-simplify. From that, pwede na to siya, mahimo siya, ang 0, nahimo nag 1, ang 1 nahimo nag 8. Tapos 14. Kaning 1 plus 7x, that is y raised to 1/2. Tapos atong dx na to, naraman si dx, which is 1/7 dy. So mo to pag-simplify, integral ni 14 ug 7, 2 na lang. Pwede na natin ipalabas. Y raised to 1/2 dy from 1 to 8. So mo tong nainganin na siya. Diya na gikan. Tayo siya substitution, then simplify. And then after, apply na siya. Og from here, fundamental theorem of calculus. Itong mag plus 1 ka, which is 4/3, tapos divide 4/3. As is lang si 2. And limits na to from 1 to 8. Next, using the fundamental theorem of calculus, upper limit una ang i-substitute, sunod, lower limit. Yun sa pag-simplify ni si 8 nga nung nahimog 16, di ba, over 3, that's 8 raised to 4/3. So pasabot ana, 8 cube root, ang 8 raised to 4/3, similar ganina, that's 8 raised to 1/3, tapos raised to 4. Meaning, 8 raised to 1/3 is cube root. Cube root of 8 is 2. Raised to 4, matong na 16. Same with 1 raised to 4/3. Cube root una, kay over 3 man ang exponent. Cube root ni 1, that's 1 raised to 4 is 1 yapon. And then, 16 minus 1 is 15 times 3, 45 over 2. So therefore, by using the substitution rule of definite integral, ang integral ani is 45 over 2. So that's example 3. Example 4. Kani. So how come nahimo siya from here nahimo ingani? So again, kailangan nato ma-present sa substitution. So kani is can be expressed as integral of 0 to 2 tapos 9x squared. Ipasaka nato si x cubed plus 1 negative 3/2 dx. So from that, we let y be equals to kani x cubed plus 1. So meaning dy na to is 2x squared dx. Kaya ang 1 constant, wala na. This should be 3. Kay 3 man yung exponent. 3x squared dx. So dividing both sides by 3x squared, so we can say that our dx is dy over 3x squared. Next is at x equals to, upper limit na lang taon na, 2. So at x equals to 2, we say that y is equivalent to 2 cubed plus 1, which is 2 cubed is 8 plus 1, that's 9. At x equals to 0 na po, lower limit, we can say that y is equivalent to 0 cubed plus 1, which is 0 cubed is 0 plus 1, that's 1. So simplifying this one, this becomes integral of 9x squared. Ang kani is just y raised to negative 3/2, while our dx, naara si dx, dy over 3x squared. So si x squared makancel, si 9 ma-divide og 3, so 3 na lang. So napatay 3 nga pwede factor out, y raised to negative 3/2 dy. So, mo na ni ang simplified form niya. By the way, atong limit is from 1 to 9. From upper limit to lower limit, 1 to 9. So, mo nang naing ana. Kana siya. So, ang yang ikuan, di baba. So, nara na pod. Baba niya, tapos saka, parehara na sila. So again, asa ni gikan katong kaninga process. Nag-let siya, then i-simplify niya. So I hope naka-follow. So erase na nato ning mga writings kay para dili kayo yagaw. So nanata dire. So from this, applying the fundamental theorem of calculus, so plus 1 integrating sa taon na. So plus 1, so mao nang negative 1/2 tapos exponent divided by negative 1/2. So yun sa na pag-simplify nganong naingani. So simplifying this one, ang 3 i-multiply nato sa negative 2 over 1 which is reciprocal sa denominator. Y raised to negative 1/2. Then limits from 1 to 9. So mao nang 3 times negative 2 mo nang 9 negative 6 diha. Tapos, substitute ka una kay 1 raised to negative 1/2. Tapos, 1 na po. Raised to negative 1/2. Actually, dapat raised to negative 1/2 ni. And, 9 raised to 1/2. Negative 1/2 pasabot by the way. Sana. That's actually 1 over 9 raised to 1/2. And again, 1 raised to 1/2 is square root. So, that is 1/3. Mo nang 1/3 ni. And same with 1 raised to negative 1/2 is just 1 because if 1 is raised to any value, 1 ra gihapon na siya. So, mao nang 1. Then, simplifying, 1/3 minus 1, pila ng 1/3 minus 1, that's negative 2/3. Tapos, ang negative 2/3 na to, i-multiply na to negative 6, motong ma-positive na. Positive 4. So therefore, ang answer ani using the substitution rule of definite integral is 4. So ato pag-solve. That's example 4. Another example. Kani. From here, nahimo siya ing ani. Ang question is giunsa. So, basically, maugyapon ang 1. Kani is simplify square root of x. So, pwede ra x raised to 1/2. Tapos sa baba, 30 minus x raised to 3/2. Tapos squared man, pero nasa baba, negative 2 na dx. So, ang ilet na to is kana. So, we let y be equivalent to 30 minus x raised to 3/2. Yun. Then, dy is, ang 30 is constant, so 0 kanina ta mag-differentiate. We have 3, negative 3/2 x. Diba, mag-minus 1 ta diha. 3/2 minus 1, that's 1/2. Tapos, dx. So, dividing both sides ani, negative 3/2 x raised to 1/2 para isolated si dx. Negative 3/2 x raised to 1/2. Cancel ni dere. So, dx na to is dy na kay negative. Ang 3/2 na to sa baba no. 3/2 x raised to 1/2. Pwede na ni ma-simplify. Ang 3/2, may mo na siya 2/3. Kaya denominator man siya, mo na ito reciprocal. Tapos x raised to 1/2 dy. So after that, pwede na ito mag-simplify ani. So, simplifying this one, kani, that's x raised to 1/2. Ang kani, mahimo na siya y. Based sa atong substitution. Y raised to negative 2. Tapos, ang dx na to, kani atong i-substitute. Which is, times negative 2/3 x raised to 1/2. By the way, sa baba man eh. Sa baba, negative 1/2 di sa ta. 1. Nag-isa ka man na to. x raised to negative 1/2 tapos dy. So kaning x raised to 1/2 of x raised to negative 1/2 makancel out mo na kay kung ibaba nato ni si x raised to negative 1/2 makancel sila. Then kaning negative 2/3 mao nang naay negative 2/3 diri. So simplify nato na palabas nato sa negative 2/3 integral ni y squared na lang, y raised to negative 2 I mean, dy. Tapos ang limit na to, yun, wala pa rin ka-substitute sa limit na to. So, at x equals to 4, lower limit ta una, y equals to, base diri sa tong gilet, no? Ana, y equals to 30 minus 4 raised to 3 halves. Which is 30 minus 4 raised to 3 halves, square root of 4 una, 3 halves man. Square root of 4 is 2, cube is 8. So, mo itong na ay 22. So, mo ni 22 na iyang lower limit. So, lower limit taog 22. Then, y na to at x, by the way, at x equals to 9. Y na to is 30 minus 9 raised to 3 halves. And 9 raised to 3 halves, meaning square root ni 9, that's 3. And cube na to is 27. So, mo itong 3. So, natay upper limit na 3. O, nang na ay 3 po na diha. So, meaning, naanata diri nga part. So, ingana ka shortcut ang libro. Gikan diri to diri, dako pa kay ang giskipan. Nara. So, I hope na ka-follow. So, naanata diri. So, erase na nako para dili kayo hugaw ang solusyon. So, naanata again diri. So, after ani, integrate na lang ni. Integrating this one, this plus 1 man ta. So, mao na negative 1, tapos negative 1 diha. Is negative 2/3. I-simplify nato ni negative times negative, so ma-positive na. So, mao nang may mag 2/3 raised to y raised to negative 1 na lang. Limits from 22 to 3. So, as you can observe, dili necessary nga ang upper limit always dako ang value. So, parehaan ni dako ang lower limit na to. So, by substitution, so first taog 3. Kani, by the way, pwede ra siya i-kuhan og 2/3 times 1 over y from 22 to 3. So, kani ang gigamit. Kasi matingala mo anong na 1/3. Y raised to negative 1, gibaba niya. So, 3, mao tong 1/3. Ang 22, 19. Then, simplifying, i-factor out lang niya si 2/3, ang yang lang gi-minus si 1/3, so si 122. Final answer is 19 over 99. So, ang answer ani is 19 over 99. So, that's example 5. We proceed to example 6, which involves trigonometric functions. So, our integral is kani, the integral of sine cube 2x cosine x dx from 0 to pi over 4. So, medyo makakabuhi gamay. So, nagsugod siya dire. Gihimo niya gingani. Ang question nganong naingana, kani is same ra ani. By the way, let me emphasize this one. Sine cube 2x is equivalent to the quantity of sine 2x cube. Pero dili na sila equal kay sine 2x cube. Kani, dili ni pareha. Ang pasabot lang ani, si x cube rang atong g-cube. While kani, pasabot ani, si sine 2x gyud ang yang g-cube. Kani sila ang pareha, kani ang dili. So, mo nang nainganin na siya. So, nga si purpose ng gingana niya because actually, kana atong ilet. So, from here, nanong naingani siya, before ana, agi sa ta sa substitution. We let y be equivalent to sine 2x. Kani. Kaya mamaning na I exponent. So again, we let y be equals to sine 2x. Then differentiating dy is equivalent to, ang derivative sa sine 2x is cosine 2x tapos times 2. Kaya na pa man eh. Chain rule, if you can still remember. So sine, derivative di sine is cosine. Tapos, ang 2x, derivative niya is 2. Diha pa ka mag dx. So again, isolating dx, we need to divide this both by 2 cosine 2x. So kaning si 2x of si 2, dili ni pwede i-multiply. Kay kani is an angle. So, cancel si 2, makancel si 2x, mapay buhato na to sa pikas. 2 cosine 2x. So therefore, can say that our dx is just dy over 2 cosine 2x. Okay, from that, we need to substitute sa kani. So at x equals to 0, using tong atong gilet, y equals to sine 2 times 0, which is ang sine 2 times 0, ang sine 0, you can still remember katong ana, pwede nimo to gamiton. Sine 0 na si 0 dire, kung pila kan kuan sa baba, 0 man. So therefore, we have 0 ni. So manang 0 po na diha. Then at x equals to pi over 4 na ta. Pi over 4. So y is equivalent to sine 2 times pi over 4. Recall na pi over 4 is 45. So therefore, this is sine 90. Kay 45 times 2 man. And ang sine 90, na there is 90, pila ka numbers, we have fingers 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. So that's square root of 4 over 2. Oh no, sorry. Sine 4, as pi over 4, so, tama. So, square root of 4 over 2, tama dahil. Square root of 4 over 2, that's 2 over 2. Kaya 1. So, sine 90 is 1. Manang na 1 na po na siya. So, I hope na-follow. Then, ang question nga asa ni Dikan, substitution na lang. Kaning sine cube, sige, simplify natin eh. So, we have here, ang 0, na himo nag 0 gihapon. Ang pi over 4, na himo nag 1. Ang sine cube, ano na itong y cube? Kani. Y cube na. Tapos copy lang sa ani. We have here cosine 2x. Pero si dx, pulihan na ito ani. O itong dy over 2 cosine x. So mo itong makancel si cosine x. Ang nabilin, y cube na lang o dy over 2. So mo nang naing-ani siya. So nga na kataas ang gi-skip sa book. So hopefully na ka-follow mo. So from that, diri na ta, we can now integrate. Since naka-substitution na ta, integration na ta diri. Ang kaning si over 2, gi-factor out lang niya. Then integral ni y cube, that's y raised to 4 over 4, then limits from 0 to 1. Question na po nga nung 1/8, that's 1/2 times the quantity y raised to 4, so would tag upper limit, 1 raised to 4 over 4 minus 0 raised to 4 over 4. And that is 1/2, 1 raised to 4, that's 1/4, minus 0. So that's 1/4 times 1/2. No, sorry. 1/2 times 1/4, which is 1/8. So, mo nang 1/8. So, na-skip lang gamay. I mean, gidiretso lang yan solve. So, that's example 6. And example 7 involves exponential. So again, starting from here, nahimo naging ani. The question is nanong naingana, agita kay let y be equivalent to. Again, pag y usually, pag na exponential, usually atong let y is katong na ay sa exponent ni e. So x cubed plus 1. Differentiating both sides, this becomes dy diha, kani 3x squared plus, dx diretso. Kaya ang 1 is constant man. So dividing both sides by 3x squared, kay para dx na lang mabilin, so that's dy over 3x squared. Okay, nanatay y. So substitute ta at x equals to negative 1. Lower limit ta. Which is, from here, sa atong gilet, substitute na to nga y equals to negative 1 cube plus 1. Again, katong ingon nako nga, pag once negative na sa sulod na exponent, kung add number, negative na siya. So, negative 1 plus 1, kaya 0. Mao nang nahimog 0 ni. From negative 1, nahimog 0. Next, at x equals to 0 na punta. So, y equals to 0 cube, again, base gihapon ta dire, plus 1. And 0 cube is 0 plus 1, that's 1. Mao nang si 0, na change ta siya so 1. Okay, after is simplifying integrand from 0 to 1 na ta. Ang integrand na to x squared given is x squared, so copy lang si x squared, tapos kaning e raised to x cubed plus 1, mahimo na siya e raised to y. Ipulihan naman nato y ning exponent niya. While ang dx nato dire, pulihan na nato ani, which is dy over 3x squared. So makancel si 3x squared, na pa si 3. Mo nang na ay 1/3 dire. Sunod, dy dy. So nara. So therefore, that is integral of 1/3 e raised to y dy from 0 to 1. So mo ni ang simplified form na i-substitutean niya siya. So mo ni kani. Mo ni kana. Oh. So nana ta diha. Oh, so from here to here, ingani ka taas ang iyang shortcut. I hope na-connect ra ninyo. So, let's proceed na anata dire. From here, we can now apply an anti-differentiation. So, integrating this one, si 1/3 as is lang, ey is, as kabalo na ta nga, ey e raised to y gihapon siya, then substitute na lang ta, first si 1, and then si 2, si 0. So, e raised to 1 is e, and e raised to 0 is 1. So, ang answer is e minus 1 over 3. So, that's example 7. I think this is the last example. So, last example is example 8. We are asked to evaluate this one. The integral of 2x times the quantity of 1 plus x squared cube dx from 2 to 0. So kung tanawon nimo baliktad no, katong ingon nako dili necessary dako si upper limit. Pwede ra dako si lower limit. Pero pwede ra po nimo magamit tong property nga pag once dako ang upper limit, baliktaron lang nimo. So katong property gani nga kung same lang integrand, pwede ra nimo kung baliktaron nimo ang upper limit ug lower limit, factor out lang kag negative. So kani pwede ra nato ni himuon as negative integral of 2x 1 plus x squared tapos cube dx from 0 to 2 na ta. Ibaliktad na to ang limit pero nagbutang tag negative sign as coefficient. So mo na pasabot nga pwede ra nimo magamit nito. Kung dili ka gusto nga mas dako imo ang upper limit, mas dako imong mas dako imong lower limit. So, pwede ra nimo balik taron. So, from that, so motong nainganin na siya. From here, ana, ang 0, from 2 to 0, na imo nag 0 to 2, which is, nanay, negative. And then, apply na siya og substitution. So, nahimog from here, kanina. Ang question, ganong naingana, so, kailangan na po nato i-present, nag-let ta og kani as our u. U naman ang gamit niya diri. That's 1x plus x squared. Differentiating both sides, that's du plus 2x dx. Dividing both sides by 2x, kay para dx na lang mabilin, that's du over 2x. Then, at x equals to 2, 2 tasugod. So, using this one, u is equivalent to 1 plus 2 squared, which is 1 plus 4, which is 5. Monang na 5 na siya. Ayan mo siyang 5. Next, at x equals to 0, may mo siya, u is equals to 1 plus 0 squared, which is 1 plus 0, which is 1. So, mo to ang 0, nahimo na siya 1. Then, simplifying our integrand, kani, that is negative, ang 0 nahimo nag 1, ang 2 nahimo nag 5. Then kani, copy lang si 2x. Pero kani, mamaninggilat u na to, mahimo siya u cube. While our dx, kato ng kani. Ang dx na to is du over 2x. So, mo to makancel si 2x. So, ang masimplify, negative integrand of u cube du from 1 to 5. So, morning, kana. So, nga na ang nawala sa solusyon. So, I hope na-connect na to. So, nanata dire. So, from that, integrating u cube, that's u raised to 4 over 4, was napa si negative. Limits from 1 to 5. Then, in applying the fundamental theorem of calculus, substitute first si 5. So, monang na 5 raised to 4, 5 raised to 4, na negative ha, minus, murag there's something wrong there. So, kung kita mo pa na, that's negative, na negative daan, that's 5 raised to 4 over 4 minus 1 raised to 4 over 4. Ano dapat? So, kung i-simplify na to, that's negative of 625 over 4 minus, dapat na amang kunin na rin. Kulong parenthesis ni dapat. Ano? Ito yung nakamali. Minus 1 over 4. So, okay na. So, that is negative 624 over 4 or negative 156. So, same ra. So, nga to pag-solve. Nga to ang kuan nga gi-applyan na atong gibaliktad. Pwede ra. So, that's all for topic 17.1 entitled Illustration of the Substitution Rule for Definite Integral. Thank you and see you next session.